Hey there, Chadi Bazzi here, and coming to you live from my car today. And I wanted to have a conversation with you today. We're going to turn this into a podcast episode, YouTube video. We'll share bits and pieces of it all across social media. And what I want to talk about today is the answer to the question. And the question is, do you ever feel like you just don't want to work, don't want to talk to anyone? You have a list of a ton of things to do and you just can't get yourself to do it. I think most people feel that way, some more than others. And I wanted to address that because that's exactly the way that I was feeling yesterday. I was in a place of like, I knew I had to record a podcast episode. It was in my schedule. Had another meeting. It was a mandatory meeting. Therefore, I had to show up. Just like if you have an appointment, you absolutely have to show up, and you do show up. It's the other appointments and the other things that lead us to more appointments that we avoid during the times that we don't feel good. So during that meeting that I had, somebody pretty much, raised their hand and said, I need to talk to you in private about a specific something. And here I am, like on a day to where like I've already like excused myself out of like having to record the videos, and now I got to talk to somebody. And so I basically told that person, look, can I call you back in a little bit? We'll talk in about an hour or so. So I had an hour to get it together. So the question is, how do you get it together to the point that you actually, acknowledge the way that you're feeling, and still, in spite of the way that you're feeling, you're able to interrupt your way of feeling and getting yourself to a place of feeling good so that you do honor the commitments that you've made, and you turn a not so good day into a productive day, which is exactly what I did. So a lot of times when we are going through the motion, we are in our heart, okay? And that's like literally dictating by default what is happening in our mind. And usually there's a huge disconnect between this, and that's exactly why we feel the way that we do. So sometimes your mind has got to be stronger than your emotions. And that's exactly what I did. Is I immediately, and this is going to be your prescription, exactly what I did is exactly what I want you to do. The prescription is very simple. It's going back to your list of what makes me feel good. Okay. So a lot of people don't really have that list. So we'll begin by giving you an assignment right now. And the assignment is, I want you to answer the question and the question is, what makes me feel good? And I want you to put that like on an index card. You can put it anywhere you want, but it's somewhere handy that you can go to it whenever you are not in a place of feeling good and you want to interrupt that pattern and get back to a place of feeling good. There's your prescription. There's your formula. You now have some things that you can engage in that will get you to a place of feeling good. So on the top of my list, which I have multiple different things that make me feel good that I've identified that work for me. On top of the list is a long walk. The second thing on the list, call someone that makes you feel good about who you are. So I was like, I'll combine both of those. I'm going to go on a walk right now, and I am going to have a conversation with someone that I know is going to make me feel good. And sure enough, within 30 minutes of walking and talking to that person, I got myself to a place of feeling good, got pumped up, got back in the studio, picked up the phone, and made the phone call to this individual that was not in a good place mentally, and they needed to talk to someone that was in a good place mentally to be able to guide them and steer them in the right direction. So I interrupted my pattern, and in interrupting that pattern, it became the exact formula that I had for this person to interrupt their pattern. And I asked them the question, hey, what makes you feel good? What makes you feel good? What is it that you can do to interrupt this state of not feeling good to a place of feeling good? We've identified exactly what that is. We created some accountabilities around that, and he was instantly propelled into instant action, and he too turned a not so good day into a fun and productive day. So the message is very simple. What makes you feel good? What is it that you could engage in at any time to get yourself to a place of feeling better? You know, for some people, it's reading their vision, going back to their dreams. It's doing a visualization. It's doing affirmations. It's journaling. It's listening to something positive. It's picking up a book and reading it. And for some people, it's basically just, you know, getting organized makes them feel good. Their place is in chaos. Their environment is in chaos. For some people, it is, you know, getting a good workout in. For some people like me, it's engaging in conversations with people that make them feel good about themselves. So the message is very simple. What makes you feel good that you could instantly go back to in your moments of not feeling good? By the way, if you're asking yourself the question, how often do you feel the way that you feel, Chadi? Well, hey, I'm human. I'm not perfect. I'm not robotic. I'm not going to be in this, you know, very uplifting, you know, high energy state of mind all the time. I have my moments, but I'll tell you, through the consistency of the things that I do day in and day out, how often I don't feel good is very minimal. And not only that, because I build the mental muscle, the emotional strength to do the things that I need to do when I do them, and doing them consistently. Whenever I am in a state of not feeling good, it doesn't last too long. So formula number 1 is create the list of what makes you feel good. Formula number 2 is, what are the daily disciplines, the daily habits that I could engage in day in and day out? So when I am not feeling good, the not feeling good days don't show up as often. And when they do show up, they don't last as long as they usually do. So now you're probably thinking to yourself, what are some of the things that I could engage in? Well, I'm going to tell you right now. I think it'd be a very good idea for every single person to have some kind of a morning routine. Morning routine does not necessarily mean 4:30 a.m., 5 a.m., or anything like that. It could be any time that works for you. There's no right and there's no wrong. I'm not going to try to put you in my box. You create your own box. You create your own formula. But some things that really help you develop the emotional strength and the mental strength that you need to get through more days more productive are as follows, in no order of importance: affirmations, visualizations, prayer for some of you guys that believe and practice that. Okay, visualization, listening to something positive, reading something good, engaging in a daily support group of like-minded people, etc. Pick the ones that work for you, create a daily habit, engage in it every single day, and you too will begin to experience less days that you ain't feeling it. And when those days do show up, they won't last as long as they do. That is the message today. Thank you for your listening and watching this video. Leave me a comment. Tell me what is your new daily habit, daily discipline, daily formula, daily routine is going to be to keep you in a state of feeling good. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.